Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central with me, Nayantara. I've got a very special guest with me now, Sairee Chahal from SHEROES. The reason we're getting her today is because she's doing some fantastic work for women entrepreneurs, and there's cloud enterprise that's involved, there's Nasscom that is involved. Sairee, welcome to the show. You tell us what it is that you're doing, the partnership that you have announced.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here, Nayantara, and good to be back. So, look, I think one of the things that we really care about as a theme at SHEROES is entrepreneurship and more women, building companies, building wealth. And if you notice, in the last couple of years, Indian SaaS story has become very, very strong. Indian SaaS companies are doing some fantastic work and making a global name for themselves. Unfortunately, very, very few women in the SaaS ecosystem as founders. So what we're really doing is we have a partnership with Women in Cloud. It's a US-based organization backed by some of the biggest names in SaaS like Microsoft. And what we're really doing is we're going to be co-launching an accelerator for women founders building SaaS companies. And our hope is that by end of 2 to 3 years, we will have a cohort of women founders who have built some very interesting SaaS companies here. So that's what we are doing, and that's what the partnership is all about. Women in Cloud is our US-based partner, and we are bringing that partnership to India.
Sairee, can I ask you why you chose SaaS in particular?
Right. So look, I know there are a lot of startups in the consumer space, and at least a lot of D2C brands that women are building. But SaaS is a very male-dominated domain, right? But if you look at the growth of SaaS companies, if you look at Nasscom data, if you look at IMI data, and then there are very specific groups supporting, SaaS as a space. We have the Freshworks story, we have the Zoho story, and we have, so many other companies building their name out there. Clearly, women are missing from this picture, and the truth is, it's a super exciting space because it's highly technical. Large scale businesses are being built, large scale profitable businesses are being built, and then of course there is backing of companies like Microsoft, which are obviously big names in the enterprise space. There is this whole initiative that's being backed by big names, and we do think that encouraging more women to come into SaaS will help us one make the ecosystem more diverse, not just from gender perspective, but also the kind of companies that get built perspective. And of course, I think it's as a segment, it's highly exciting at this point in time, and it's also a less volatile space compared to consumer, if I may.
So you literally, I hate that phrase, and I know you hate it too, that shattering the glass ceiling. But this, like you said, is a male-dominated world. Can you tell me why you think now women will be ready to be SaaS entrepreneurs? It's not like they haven't been, right? But why now? Is it because of the lockdown, COVID-19? Just the way the cloud business has progressed.
So two trends are very noticeworthy here. One is the growth of cloud itself, right? So between Amazon, Google, Alibaba, and everybody else, cloud is really a fast-growing segment. It's the most profitable business for large groups. But at the same time, I think there are a lot of women building SaaS products, but they're all building it in their own little silos. And we've always believed in the power of collective and the power of community. We've always believed that ecosystems need to support more entrepreneurship. So this is getting more focused here, honestly. So I think adding a power to this power of the collective to the segment will help us, one, make women entrepreneurs be more visible. Two, there is a power of collecting showing up, whether it is for best practices or for hiring or for building companies or whether going to the regulator. It really matters. And third is we do think that there are more interesting companies waiting to be built. There are a lot of founders who might be on the sidelines, or there are a lot of founders who still might be in college. But when they see an initiative that's very specifically built to support women in SaaS, I think it changes the game. It sends a very, very, very important message out, especially to women in engineering colleges, women in their first jobs, women who are coders. It just changes the entire vibe of the ecosystem. So for us, I think yes, it shatters the glass ceiling, but I think what it also does is it expands the market.
Sairee, because I have you here while you're focusing on entrepreneurship and SaaS for women, I want to also ask you because, since March, everybody's had it tough, right? But how has it been for the women entrepreneurs or even those, the young professionals? They've had to, maybe they're part of double income families, maybe they have 2 children. Everybody's doing online education, plus you got to do your own job. It's been really tough. What have you noticed at SHEROES?
Absolutely. So we're seeing the same thing. We are seeing that I think work for women has increased because now, one, they're at home all the time, and they're the first people who anybody calls, whether it's children or husband. And and Indian homes are crowded homes. There is there's a complete lack of space, and I think that's kind of a big factor. And thirdly, I think the economic crisis, the healthcare crisis, it's really hard to ignore. For most people, some of us are lucky, but it's really out there in every home, in every family, and women are really facing the brunt. We've seen an increase in cases of anxiety, in cases of abuse, in cases of difficult situations women are in, and we've ramped up our helpline efforts. We've ramped up the effort to support the community. We're trying to do the best we can, but we also see that this is indeed a very, very difficult phase for a lot of women across the country, and a lot more women now either need to make their own money because the husband has lost their job, or need to supplement the family income because there's a loss of income overall. So they're really trying to keep up, and obviously we're trying to support them as much as we can.
Okay, and but having said that, women entrepreneurship, any data that you have studied during the pandemic, gone up, gone down? It's been tough on them as well. It's been tough on everybody, to be fair.
Our sort of trends say that 2 things are on a big rise. One is upskilling and learning. So everybody is basically now on their own. The economy, the social security, or even the corporate jobs we all had, I think everything is under deep question. So women on our network have taken to, one, upskilling and learning, and second is entrepreneurship in a big way. In fact, the way I look at it, every woman is now an entrepreneur. She could be a micro entrepreneur, or she could be building a unicorn startup, or she could be a corporate professional who is now trying new things, or who's trying to expand her horizon so that she can navigate this through. Definitely an increased interest in sectors like healthcare, sectors like edutech, sectors where direct to consumer, and we also see that in our own network, where women are now using all the tools available to find their feet, in entrepreneurship. So if I may very broadly say, I think we've seen almost a 30 to 40% rise in the number of women adopting entrepreneurship as an option last couple of months now.
Sairee Chahal, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Wish you all the very best. As Sairee Chahal, working really hard to have more women entrepreneurs. Right now, she's training her guns on SaaS companies, trying to break the male-dominated world that's existing at the moment as far as SaaS companies go. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We look forward to having you back soon on the show. With that, ladies and gentlemen, out of time, so it's a goodbye from me. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m.